Ba-da-dum, bum. Ba-da-dum, bum. Let's go, let go. Told me to stick to a strict pace. Expiration way past my script days. Tell the doc, keep the doxy sight clean. I'm cycling through what might seem cumbersome to some, but gotta chart a path for the light beam. Boulder crushing, but no other way to learn firsthand how to get out from under one. Unfortunately, storms come in psych storms here. Ain't come to strike more fear, but to make space, get the core clear. When the objects in the rear view looking closer than they appear, where you got left to stare like face to face, oh dear. That's the way, no objection sections, just follow along. Muddy waters between right and what's wrong, so I'm left to confide in these songs. Found a little light at the end of that tunnel, almost lost sight, then it got strong. Lifetime of hopping down hallways, hoping down hallways. Stand tall, keep my circle small always. Known to fill a page, just tear it out. Make one mistake, cut my name down to size when they said spell it out. Step back to when time is of the essence, don't wear it out. Might as well get it right if you're gonna try. Ideas refined over time like wine. Some things you only understand through living life. From the back seat, hard to see all the signs. Fun house mirrored by the shine, the light in my eyes. Said that's the way, no objection sections, just follow along. Muddy waters between right and what's wrong, so I'm left to confide in these songs. Found a little light at the end of that tunnel, almost lost sight, then it got strong. Lifetime of hopping down hallways, hoping down hallways. Stand tall, keep my circle small always. Found a little light at the end of that tunnel, almost lost sight, then it got strong. Lifetime of hopping down hallways, hoping down hallways. This time, oh my god, I really just fucking did this entire song and it wasn't even fucking recorded. That's really something, but you know, that's life. Tracing through this constellation, not a consolation prize. Possession more constricting, praise bringing delight what's been crystallized in the making. Bear the brunt of these heavy rains, drying off my wings might not happen in a single day. Old world tugging at the formulation of a new one, born from out of righteous rage and love for one another instead of disgust and hate. Born from out the ashes of past plays, out the burnt pages, turn catalyst for change. Colonialism never ended, but the energy of old remains. Reclaiming as the fuel, the fire. Carry on through the flames, try to pass the torch, we lit them up, then lit the way. Casual backwards elaborations, calling for an end to going back to quote-unquote normal for normal's sake. Mid-shedding, don't dismiss a snake, for his work here is done. Swallow one whole, what's time has come. Gotta make room for the sun. Trying to claim that you finished when you just begun. Thoughts more scatter plots, try connect the dots. Working the show for me instead of showing off. Rather not end up alone in the company of lots. We all in our own spots in this cakewalk. Rather think through where I step instead of following you all over the cliff like lemmings. Or the people who perpetuate the lie, they blindly dive off a cliff. Really made by propagandists to sell a documentary to you with a plot line already planned. It's tail all this time I bought into so many false truths since you still weeding all the seeds implanted. You ain't here to be able to stand in at a moment's notice for a role you fit. Plucked from the crowd just to go disappear in it. It appears the reason you itch to break free from the shell. Truly shed your old skin to expand outside the lines they try to set you in. Trying to fit like an octopus in a little tin. Fluid enough to do it, but I'd be remiss to inhibit my own movement limits imposed by a different set of shoes to fill. Couldn't live my life if you broke every detail in bite-sized chunks, fine comb tooth in it. It's not a cartoon, you bitch. I don't even be saying bitch, but that's funny. Yeah. Ba-da-dum. Map it out, gotta map it out. Try to map it out, gotta map it out. Where we going, gotta map it out. Map it out, gotta map it out. I used to wonder why growing up the world so often felt like a lie. I used to wonder why I didn't wanna be alive sometimes. Told me it was all my fault, just a product of a problem in my mind. But we can't close our eyes. I see it all the time in the present tree and live it like a prize. But if you live it life in a way to guarantee some people die, then you ain't living right. Systemic issues trying to individualize, but we can't close our eyes, 'cause it's looking dark outside. We can't close our eyes, 'cause it's looking dark outside. I used to wonder why growing up the world so often felt like a lie. I used to wonder why I didn't wanna be alive sometimes. Told me it was all my fault, just a product of a problem in my mind. But these problems coming from outside. These problems are coming from outside. From outside. These problems. These problems. These problems are coming from outside.
You can't just wash your hands of responsibility on this one, okay?
Looking for a panacea, bring us Pangea. Probably know when you near it. Gotta join if you can't beat us undefeated. That's that indomitable human spirit. Not just human beings, flow through every being. Not for your museum, that's a different kind of artifact. I'm doing my best to keep intact, but that doesn't mean you still don't need to give that shit back. With the land on which you stand, not genocide, just put back into the hands of who will protect it, 'cause you can't. We waist deep in some quicksand, waiting. At the moment I'm just doing my best to wade. No Wilson in isolation, but it didn't take crashing a plane. All it took was eugenics at play. Don't like living through extinction level situations, but I'm trying to make the most in the face of the kind of shit that brings shock, no amazement, unless referring to the lack of engagement with reality. I mean basic. No, there's more of us than you hear from, trying to not be deer in the headlights. Try to pull the wool over our eyes, but that doesn't really sit the best right. Near sight only can get a bit lopsided. All the while it's getting increasingly hostile, and actions taken in our lives affect our child. Choose to come if you can't have one. Need to fight for life as an outcome, instead of buying into apathy that surrounds us. Trying to return to the essence of how they found us. Let it flow free like a fountain. Columbus didn't care about disease either. Peace to Elise Rochelle, every being trying to keep us breathing. We are kin's keepers. Can be quiet or we can be speakers. Let it flow free like a fountain. Columbus didn't care about disease either. Peace to Elise Rochelle, every being's trying to keep us breathing. We are kin's keepers. Can be quiet or we can be speakers. We can be. We need side of fries with his genocide. Said to stay inside a few weeks. Wait, never mind. Now a few short years later, everything on the line. Anything for a little wine and dine. But one and done, I'd much rather step aside. Some doctors and nurses still on the front lines, taking every step they can to fight for our lives. Some trying to spread disease quicker so we die. Dichotomy when everything got a price, and I'm not talking factor in the value of a life. Let's take an artificial hike. Steep heights, better watch your step. Hell yeah, I'm masked, but in mass, can y'all please? Like, please?
Like, I'll just let that shit rock, bruh.
fucking wear a mask. Like, please. Motherfuckers are dying. It's literally like airborne AIDS, bruh. Like, they literally have studies now talking about how it fucking gives people acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Fucking AIDS. Like, that's like, it's not a cold, bro. Please. Even if you're vaccinated. If you're vaccinated, if you're not vaccinated, fucking
feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, in the pocket like I'm hated by the maker of purses. Rough around the edges, but a tendency to still tender was tender under surface. It gets difficult at times, just not to prefer me burn when it feels like everything worse. And then in the rib side, which way you gonna swim? When the current swing this or that, truthfully I try not to be tit for tat. A few lessons learned from one of my worst shifts. Try to cover up a butter, but still surface. Silhouette gothic like some Antoine first shit. Not to burst your bubble, even sober, seeing steady billowing steam. Best believe I came into this world a wordsmith. Eternal flame keep forging, no clear beginning, no end like cursive. Went from translating language to pictures to translating images to verses. Call me bubble boy before I burst it. No, I'm not the first, might be first to break it to you. I was born to break these curses. Not a man or a woman, first and foremost I'm just a person. Maybe use a little more discernment when it comes time to project from the spaces you're hurting. Not content with this content drawn outside these lines. Too much time spent drawing curtains. Like Lee Hardcastle, we can mold a new motor too. Instead of moving single file like cattle forced to. Everything I do for both me and you. Fish are friends, not food. Still only ever capable of translating one snapshot at a time of my battles. Trying to gather what's pulling at the bottom of the creek sands and paddle. Sand down before you drown from what's trailing you in shadow. Too many Anakins so easily unravel. Not flying up to glide where the wind travels, but it's a sand shift, keep an eye out for rattles. Part and parcel in this carceral system. Carnivalesque, they got your life on raffle. So I'm betting on me, won't let up till it's time to leave. Until my work here is done and it's time to be reborn. A brand new life to lead, new sights to see from new eyes. Whether there's a retrievable thread, know that line goes from beginning to end. Just a wave mid-crest, take it all in. Feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the, feel it through the senses. Change and the feel doesn't ever return in the same old way like reruns. Headlights on but it read like a deer hunt. And the ice arena been filled up. I ain't really been outside in a minute. Little bit of sun really feel good. Looking at this kid almost slip away. Yet he wonder why they smoking all that feel good. Lighting up like steel wool. Better brace for the impact and might not get a fistful. Did I say this was simple? How to factor in the fact I had to leave home just to feel at home enough for me to know the shit I know. I know that I do make it look away. Ain't gotta cover your eyes though. It should come as no surprise. That's if running through different time zones. Presently echoing out of my mind's eye hole. Wherever you at you can find a no. Not always where you would fantasize it would go. Turn my focal point, holding when I hit the joint. But I had to give it up in favor of a water filter as my weapon of choice. Soaring through the playbill, picking joints. Still the symphonies of your own voice. Seeking to repeat, already made a fair share of noise. Soaring through it, I can still enjoy what I gotta toss like a garage sale full of kids' toys. Swinging his stadiums you weren't even aiming for. Best milestones are the ones that you weren't even aiming towards. Let it fall into place, ain't a way to force. Puppets wind up where they made center stage for the main course. Marionettes with many strings. times he told me where to be avoided is Michelin, not some fries at the snack bar. In combat, not Sub-Zero, you subpar. Pass go, you still tripping over past falls. If it's pass fail, hopefully I learned my lesson by the fall. I was finally just starting to nail it down when the whole world just flipped right, turned upside. After I had just spent the whole last almost 10 years trying to ground. Gotta learn when and when not to be tied down. Even in person, the present can't force connection. Left in my own devices, forgive me if I form in the forge just a bit more defensive. Temperature's been for sure warm, forlorn when I was just trying to forewarn. Feel this shit in your core, but so many so endowed like a daily chore. They had to do it, so now you too gotta suffer for it. Told you when I came back in the first place, don't wanna be Nostradamus, messing with some guessing games. Saw the signs back in January, coming up on year 4. Shit hasn't been the same. Mr. Krabs ringing the bell through the frame, but still we remain. Still we remain. She sounds like fucking Taxi Driver, bro. Damn. How big is your world? Ay. How big is your world? Ay. Only in it for the real, the ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. Only in it for the real, the ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. Only in it for the real, the ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. Only in it for the real, the ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. Tibialis raises for your knees. Get the joints pumping, let the muscle recall memory with ease. Irony, ADHD made me a magnet for the rarities of earth. It's just getting you up to speed. Before your attention, find a new place to lead. Before you find a place you're supposed to be, know something or two about circular motion. Trying to find a place to be. What's guaranteed, guess we'll start with me. Like an across stitch, see where each piece seem to fit. Might get out of order, but it's not permanent. Wait a couple years and you'll be. Wait a couple years and you'll be burning it. Only in it for the real, the ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. Only in it for the real, the ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. Only in it for the real, the ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. Only in it for the real, the ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. Ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. Only in it. Ethereal. Said I'm only in it for the real, the ethereal. How big is your world? 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 How big is your world?